What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And former Kansas City Chiefs star wide receiver Tyreek Hill, currently of the Miami Dolphins, made a shocking statement on his potential future with the Miami Dolphins after their 32-20 loss to the New York Jets in the regular season finale. In an interview with the media after the game, Tyreek Hill stated his desire to do what is best for his career, even if it is no longer in Miami. But Tyreek Hill even went as far as to say that, "I'm out of the Dolphins organization." The full quote from the Miami Herald quotes Tyreek Hill saying, "I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career. I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there." Eric Edholm of NFL.com also wrote an article covering Tyreek Hill's press conference after the game, and Tyreek Hill also said, "This is my first time I haven't been in the playoffs," Hill told reporters. "I just got to do what's best for me and my family. If that's here or wherever the case may be, I'm going to open that door for myself. I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro." Edholm also wrote, "Hill, who is 30 years old, stopped short of saying that he was definitely asking for a trade, but Sunday night on social media, he posted what appeared to be a farewell message to fans." Now, even though there's still plenty of football left to be played before we head into the NFL offseason, Tyreek Hill certainly is giving us a very interesting storyline to follow, as it looks like his time with the Miami Dolphins may be coming to a close. But with Tyreek Hill still having multiple years left on his current contract and still making a lot of money, he most likely would have to be acquired via trade if a team were to go after him. But what I also find interesting is that these end-of-season remarks from Tyreek Hill come not too long after Tyreek Hill posted a bunch of photos and videos on his social media account reminiscing on his days with the Kansas City Chiefs back when he used to be winning. And I think that, combined with the poor season that the Miami Dolphins had, has brought us to this point where Tyreek Hill is at a crossroads in his career where he's won, he's made his money, and he chose making money over continuing to win with the Kansas City Chiefs, and now he feels like he made the wrong decision for his career. And I think a lot of people probably saw this coming with the season that the Dolphins were having, and how Tyreek Hill just looked uninterested and apathetic out there at times. His stats were way down this year, especially after the injury to starting quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. And I quite honestly think that it has reached a boiling point for Tyreek Hill. And when you come into the league with a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, where there is a culture of winning, and you won a Super Bowl there, you competed in multiple Super Bowls, you were consistently in the playoffs, it's really hard to go somewhere else and be satisfied when the standard for the organization is way lower. Regardless, Tyreek Hill's comments quickly went viral after the game, leading to many Kansas City Chiefs fans on social media theorizing if the Kansas City Chiefs could potentially bring Tyreek Hill back this offseason through a trade. And personally, I have a lot of thoughts about this, but I would absolutely love to have Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say about this off the bat. We don't need him. We've won 2 Super Bowls since he left the organization. He left for the money. That's what he chose. And all of that is true. But one thing that is undeniable is the Kansas City Chiefs offense has never been quite the same since Tyreek Hill skipped town. And let's not act like the Kansas City Chiefs weren't working towards an extension with Tyreek Hill before they ultimately decided to trade him. They wanted to keep him and they wanted to pay him. It was just that Devontae Adams contract with the Las Vegas Raiders that blew negotiations way out of the water. And I do think that Tyreek Hill still talks to a lot of people within the Kansas City Chiefs organization, and that the Chiefs would welcome a return of Tyreek Hill. And if we look at things logically, there is a need for a wide receiver on the Kansas City Chiefs. They have Hollywood Brown, they have DeAndre Hopkins, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice right now, but Only two of those guys are under contract after this season, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. And Rashee Rice is also expected to miss significant time to start next season due to injury and suspension. So ideally, you'd like to have another veteran wide receiver in that group that can hold it down while Rashee Rice nurses that injury and faces suspension, and Xavier Worthy would only be in his second year. So you're going to want a veteran wide receiver, and we'll see if the Kansas City Chiefs want to bring back DeAndre Hopkins or Hollywood Brown. But if Tyreek Hill is realistically available, I think you take him over either of those guys. And Tyreek Hill has also been far more durable than a guy like Hollywood Brown and is probably a lot more productive than a guy like DeAndre Hopkins at this point in their respective careers. Despite the disappointing with Miami, Tyreek Hill was just less than 50 yards shy of another 1,000-yard season, and over his career, he has over 11,000 yards and 82 touchdowns. We already know as Chiefs fans what Tyreek Hill can do. He still has a lot of that same speed and athleticism, and while he's about to be on the wrong side of 30, which is typically an area of age that Brett Veach likes to stay away from when it comes to acquiring players from outside of the organization, Tyreek Hill is a different sort of player. We know what he can do. Again, he is a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best non-quarterback offensive weapons in all of NFL history, and he still remains as one of the fastest players in the league. And tell you what, it would be extremely exciting to bring back Tyreek Hill to this offense, get him back with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce again, playing in the Andy Reid offense, and also pairing him with Xavier Worthy, who is also one of the fastest players in the NFL. And then imagine those two guys over the top, creating everything underneath and over the middle for Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce as he is in the twilight of his career. And that's a big reason why I would be looking at making this move in the offseason if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, is because we know that Travis Kelce is nearing the end. And that is a guy that typically has drawn a lot of bracket coverages and double teams and draws a lot of attention from the defense. And once that's gone, I wonder who is going to take the place of Travis Kelce as far as a guy who draws so much attention and opens things up for other guys. But Tyreek Hill would certainly help with that in the meantime, and also just take a lot of the pressure off Travis Kelce as he enters some of his final years of football. And I definitely think you would see Travis Kelce enthusiastically sign up for another year if Tyreek Hill was back in Kansas City. I know there's been some speculation about Kelce maybe riding off into the sunset if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl this year, but I think getting the band back together would maybe sway him the other way. And let's just be honest, guys, this offense has struggled over the last couple of seasons. They've lacked a consistent weapon like Tyreek Hill, who creates those explosive plays. We just haven't seen as many of those in the Chiefs offense. Now, you could argue that a lot of that this year was due to injury, but hey, Tyreek Hill has been a very durable player. And I've always said too, like, I always thought that Tyreek Hill would come back to Kansas City at some point in his career later down the line, whether it's a one more year type of thing at the end of his career before he retires, latching back on, kind of like Deshaun Jackson in his later years. But man, if you have a chance to bring back that connection between Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill while Tyreek Hill is still in his prime, I mean, that is something that felt just impossible months ago for Kansas City Chiefs fans. But I think a lot of us would like to see that connection come back between Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I know some fans are going to be lukewarm about the idea. Some are going to say, nah, they've moved on already. We've won 2 Super Bowls in a row since trading Tyreek Hill, and I get that, but Tyreek Hill would still absolutely help this team, and damn, that would be fun to watch, and I root for fun football. So those are my thoughts on Tyreek Hill being very close to asking out of Miami and all but saying that he would like to go elsewhere, as the Miami Dolphins are not a winning organization at the moment. I fully understand where Tyreek Hill is coming from there, but I want to hear from you guys in the comments. Would you take Tyreek Hill back in Kansas City, or have you moved on? I'm going to be really curious to hear what you guys have to say after this one, but those are my thoughts once again. With all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this, and make sure you check out my work on ShowMeFootball.com and ArrowheadAddict.com for more, and I will see you all in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs!